Hello guys and welcome back. I hope I didn't horrify you too much with with my last video and you're still here. So let's get into this one. And right now I'm right before the grand, market, the Fed meeting and stuff like this. And the market has dropped lately, and now it seems to be going back up. And let's go on the first page on the market cap, and yeah, on hourly chart it's like it's stagnant. Mostly it's stagnant. We have just Audiera bit going up, and P with 6% after it dropped 12% and stuff like that. So basically it's stagnant in the same range. Now first of all, I want to show you this post. Tomley says the US is risking getting left behind. Bitmine, Bitmine chairman Tom Lee warned that the US must pass the Clarity Act quickly or risk falling behind as other nations race to embrace digital assets. Yeah, my accent is giving me a little bit of a headache, so yeah. In my language we used to read as we write, and I have to keep reminding myself that I have to read a little bit different. So anyway, that's another topic, but yeah, let's see. Crypto is recovering because outside of the US it's being embraced. Japan, Russia, Europe are passing Clarity Act bills like bills. Crypto is turning money into software. The countries moving first and get the biggest advantage. This is right, and I think on long term the digital era is coming. It's basically another industrial revolution, if you want to call it like that. But we are still in the foggy area, in the foggy times for this, and we will be for a few years now. And you can just basically speculate now and hope for the best. But let's see what's going to happen now as we speak, and what I've prepared a few polymarket bets to show you. And right now, as I'm filming this, there are 11 hours and 2 minutes until the Fed meeting, and the chances of rate hikes basically dropped a little bit. They were higher. They were 36%, and before this it was like they were 12% for a while, I guess. I can check my older videos. 12 or 13, but it went up down, and I believe they will keep the same rates for now, um, because it's a lot of uncertainty and uncertainty. I wanted to say uncertainty. I'm thinking too much about a lot of stuff that's happening now with crypto and with my life as well. But that's another topic. So I'm struggling a bit to talk right now. So let's go to the first bet that I've taken into consideration, which is Bitcoin on the 1st January. What are the chances for it to go up and down? And it seems that we have a small upside, and the downside just went up. However, don't let yourself be fooled, because the volume on this, it's almost non-existent. So it has to be bet like $12,000 on it for it to go up, and like 3,000, 4,000 to go down. So basically it's nothing burger. And the high volume, it's here for some reason, and it's a big no-no here, I guess, and even a bigger no-no here. And why is this one lower than this one? It should have been the opposite. Anyway, people are betting it will not get to 35,000 in a large volume. A lot of money is here. So basically, at 16K, it's a very small volume, but at 55K, it's a large volume and it's like 50-50 chance. So make it make sense. Please make it make sense. So you have to watch the volume, not just the percentages here. And it's like it's somewhat of a no-no for 50K. It's 50-50 for 55K. Like we have to interpret this in a way, but it's mostly nope. Now this one, I'm intrigued about this one. Will Bitcoin touch 55K until the end of the year? So the chances are that it might. However, this can be, like people can just trade this, buy and sell it with 10% higher or lower chances. I didn't follow this one up closely. However, it's interesting to follow as well. So we have a big no-no on this one on 90K. Will those people be liquidated, or are those insiders, those who bet a lot of money on this? We have a huge bet on no to 15K, which is also, they just went for the sure thing, and can just put a lot of money and make 10% or 20%, and that's about it. It's an easy bet sometimes. This one should have been lower, I guess, in this one, but yeah, maybe people are doing other things with their money. So this one, it also has a lot of volume, and this one also, and it's like a big no-no that we will have 250K this year and 200K, and yeah. But in order to have this high volume, you also have to have a lot of people who went for the opposite direction, to counter them, to get some money out of them, to squeeze them out. I really don't know how to interpret this one. There is a high chance that we will touch 55K, or will they be liquidated? That's the thing. We don't know who put this money here and who went against Bitcoin going to 55K, and who went for. This is like here is the real battle. Here is not as much of a battle, I would say, and neither is here. But this one is a real battle for 55K. So let's go to Ethereum and check how does it look. And it looks to have some upside. We are on for the 1st of January. We also have the 1st of August, which is in like 2-3 days from when I'm filming, but that's no longer interesting because it's a short time period and people are not betting as much, and they are just taking the sure bets here. But this one, you still have a lot of time, like 6 months: August, September, October, November, December, 5 months, because July has passed, basically 5 months. And yeah, people are betting on this one like crazy, and you can, as I said, you can just trade the bet and you can buy it when it has low chances and sell it with 10-20% profit, stuff like this. And let's check those after. So the interesting thing is there is a high volume and a low chance on 1500. So, and on this one we will not see 1250, I think, because it's a pretty decent volume and people are betting on no. Also on this one it's like a sure no, so it won't be 1000. And usually polymarket it's right, but it's usually depends on the subject and depends on the volume, of course. Some some bets are not of public interest, but some are, and some are very predictable. And if you have the access to the right people and the right information, you can just make sure bet. So um, yeah, we have a high chance to get this year to 2000. We are not far from 2000, I guess. So yeah, of course, it's not impossible. It seems to me that we might have a drop. I mean, it looks like a bearish flag, maybe on a short term. Like we might see something like this. But if we would see something like this, a drop to 1700, then it would be a confirmation of a higher low. So you would want to see a drop, but not a lower low. So we would have a double bottom confirmation, and a higher low. This would propel us into the next alt season. But that's just my speculation. I'm an early caller. I'm just going off my own instincts sometimes, and in the past I've listened to influencers, and usually they were wrong and I was right for some reason. But I didn't make videos. But sometimes I started documenting my adventure on the crypto market, if you will. And yeah, let's go back to Ethereum, and we have a low volume on this and on this as well. So the high volume is basically on no, and this one, it's already up too much, so nobody is betting against it, I guess. So that's why we don't have a high volume, because nobody's betting against Ethereum to go to 2000. And of course nobody can, like, basically if you buy a lot of yes for this one, it will quickly go to 99%, and it will just have a low profit margin. And yeah, it's not worth to do this. And this one, it's a bit tricky, a bit risky, but I think this one, it's high probability that we will also go to 2250. About this, I don't know. There are pretty high chances, to see it to 3000 to 20%. It's a risky bet on this one. Yeah. I don't really know what to say, but I think this one is definitely high chances. And as you see, the small volume means that people are not willing to bet against it. So this is my interpretation. Now let's go to some other stuff, like Clarity Act. And the chances for it to go into low have dropped significantly. However, call me crazy, but I see a bullish flag. We have a huge downtrend since 2nd of May. We have like beep, 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 and it looks like a bullish flag. It should go bam soon, because it's too predictable. Like, it's an endless downtrend, and it's a very long time now. So it's basically May, June, July, 3 months of downtrend. Like, you look at this pattern, and unless we have like, it's going to die for some reason and nobody's going to talk about this anymore, then it should go up. The volume is 2.9 million, which is a high volume. It's a lot of money on the polymarket. It's a lot of bets. And let's go and check this one as well. Crypto market structure legislation, which is a new bet. Yeah, we don't really have the volume as here. Yeah, here it shows the volume, here it doesn't. So it's 34% chance that we will have some sort of market structure, crypto market structure legislation. It can drop and go up. You know, it's like high volatility market. So once it stabilizes and it has a lot of money, you can predict basically, but sometimes you cannot predict what will happen. 34% for a new bet, it's something you cannot predict. But let's go to the other stuff. Solana price target, XRP price target. Let's see. 1st of January for Solana, what do we have? $90, 61%. You know, it's a very low volume. It's on this one, it's like basically zero. Like I will move the market with $1. So if I put $1, I will get I would double it. It won't even buy at you know, it should triple it if it had volume, but you can basically move all the market. So if I buy for $101, I just win $114. So I'm going to be the whole market maker on this one. And if I buy yes for $100, there is no what. So yeah, basically it's dead bet. 90. Let's clear this. So let's put 100 here. So yeah, I'm still moving the market if I'm doing this, however, less than the other one. I was expecting a bit of more volume on this. Yeah, you can just go for it's not going to reach 20. If Solana will reach $20, I will sell all my portfolio and buy it. If it's under $20, it's just like, you know, I made most of my money with Solana, and I also spent them. Some of them I lost in other, you know, after the 10th October, I reinvested half of the money, and I, you know, from 12,000, I just have 4,000. So I turned basically 1.8 into 24 G in with Solana. So let's check the upside a little bit. So we have a no for 200 and no for 180, which is decent. You know, it's a decent bet. Doesn't seem to have people betting too much on this range. I was expecting a bit more. So this one is a given from them that it will go to $70. You know, it's interesting to check this one. So it's a lot of uncertainty on Solana. Like really a lot of uncertainty. So basically nobody knows about Solana, not even the market makers. Otherwise you would see a lot of volume here. And let's go to XRP, which I didn't check it, but I believe it has more volume than Solana. We can see all the volume, 1,159,000. And let's go here. And no, I was wrong, I guess. I was expecting XRP to have more volume, but it doesn't. You can also earn if you keep something 3.25, but yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, let's check it. Even if it has a low volume, we might see something interesting. So will the price of what is it, XRP, it's $1.08. Did it clear any bets? I think that Solana it has cleared some bets. Let's recheck it. So that's why it might be like this. So it didn't, or usually they change it after it clears some bet. So $1, there is 85% to reach $1, which is of course possible. That's high volume here for the small mass of people that are betting on this. So the biggest no-no, it's 20 cents, and I bought it, first time I bought XRP at 18 cents. And yeah, I DCA'd my way up for some reason. Anyway, it was a good purchase for me first time. So people are mostly betting for no and at 40 cents, and you know, even I think even this one it's a no 60 cents, 80 cents, it might be possible. $1 definitely possible. And the upside, it's rather interesting. You know why it doesn't have $2 upside bet? Because it might reach it, or I don't know how old is this bet. Let's 2025. So is it this old? Then those bets were cleared and they were not replaced, I guess. That's just my guess. And I think I've been mumbling too much about stuff. And what is interesting for me right now, we have 10 hours and 44 minutes until the Fed decision, and the chances are there will be no change. And we have to see what will happen after this. So I will make videos after that as well. This video might appear after the Fed meeting because I will be at work. I simply don't have time. But I will leave it here for documentation purposes. And the thing is, right now, I think the market has priced in anything. And if it's not going to be rate hikes, if they will just keep the rates at the same, at the same level, I think it's already priced in, maybe even bullish, maybe, but yeah, we'll have to see about that. Also, I think if we will see rate hikes, we will really have the bottom if we will see rate hikes, but we will have to see about that. So I'm making this prediction as of 10 hours before the Fed meeting, so we'll just have to wait and see. I hope you enjoyed, and let me know what you think in the comment section. See you in the next one.